What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is my tips and tricks video for level 3 skillers. This is kind of focused on the newer skillers that don't really know too much about the lifestyle as a level 3. So some of these you might actually already know about, but just keep in mind that this is just for those people that don't know much. But however, I would still watch throughout this entire video just in case you might actually learn something from my game knowledge, which is not much. But you never know, you might learn something. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get right into it. The first step I have for you guys is while you are doing a bank standing skill, such as cooking when doing grapes or fletching or anything else, it is always recommended to stand at a bank that allows random events. If you did not know, the majority of banks in RuneScape do not allow random events to spawn, and the reason why you want to be at one of the banks that do allow random events to spawn is so you can obtain a genie lamp or a book of knowledge from the dunce random events, which in turn can be used on the Slayer level. As a level 3 Slayer is a very iconic level to get, as it's very difficult to get those levels up. So all of the XP that you can get in the Slayer level can always help your account overall. Now, as far as the banks that do allow random events, I only know of three, being this one right here, located south of the Hesidious house on Zaya, right next to the sand crabs right here. This one allows it, as well as the Rogue's Den, located within Berthorpe, and finally the north end bank of Fossil Island, where you take the boat out to this smaller island right off the shore of Fossil Island. You just have to travel with this boat, and you will end up on the smaller island with a bank chest. And all three of these locations will allow you to receive random events while standing at the bank. If there are any other locations that you guys know of that allow these random events, please leave a comment down below and let me know what banks you guys have found that actually allow random events. The second tip that I have for you guys is obtaining ice gloves on a level 3 skiller. Now, this is beneficial if you plan on doing the Blast Furnace minigame, as that is one of the fastest methods for smithing experience, as well as very decent money making as well. So what you have to do this is the Ice Queen during the Hero's Quest. You do not need to start the Hero's Quest on either account. You just simply run down to her and you are able to attack her and obtain the ice gloves. You will need an alt account helping you out on this, or a friend or somebody to help you out, and they have to use the curse spell on the Ice Queen to aggro her, as that does 0 damage. If you do any damage on your ult, it will not count. So make sure you use the curse, and then you will just box the rest of the HP down with recoils on your ult. After dealing quite a bit of damage to the queen, you will then want to attack on your level 3. You will have to do 1 true combat damage, which will give you 4 combat experience. Now, there is probably a method out there for 0 combat experience, but I could not find anything on it, and honestly, it probably would just be more pain than it's worth. So I would just go ahead and get the 4 combat experience. It won't level you up any. So equip your Bone Dagger Poison. You will need that. And hopefully you can poison the queen as well to help you kill her faster. But once you do 1 true damage to the queen, just recoil the rest of it down on your ult. And once she dies, you will obtain the Ice Gloves on a level 3 skiller. The next tip I have for you guys is showing you a 0 combat experience method for certain quests that require you to kill bosses. The 3 quests that I know that this works on is the Biohazard quest, which is required for RD Achievement Diary, the Tourist Trap, which is for smithing darts, and Merlin's Crystal, which is required to gain access to Fossil Island. However, this method works on any quest that requires you to go through dialogue with a boss prior to him attacking you. So if you go through the dialogue on your level 3 skiller talking to the boss, go to the last chat option right before it will attack you. So on the last chat, keep the dialogue open, do not close it out. While it is open, attack the boss on an alt account and get it fairly low HP. You will need to at least poison it or have some type of recoils, but you can deal damage to it however you want, as long as the dialogue is open on your level 3. Once you close the dialogue, you will need to do so prior to the boss dying, but once you close the dialogue, you are no longer able to do any damage on your ult account, only through poison or recoils. And then once it dies, you will actually obtain the quest item that you are needed to proceed on with the quest. These are the only ones that are really beneficial to a level 3 skiller, but that is just a nice little tip for you guys. And now we are moving on to the next one. Again, you might know this already, but a lot of people don't know that you can actually keep an untrimmed skill cape on a level 3 skiller. I do have a guide on how to actually do this method, so if you are interested, I will leave a card to that video up on the top right of this video. So go ahead and click on that if you want to know on how to keep an untrimmed skill cape as a level 3 skiller. This is just an example. I do have a magic cape on, but it does work for level 3s as well. Number 5, skillers actually have access to the dig site pendant. That is right. A lot of people actually don't know this because it requires you to enchant a ruby necklace, which requires magic, you would think. However, you can actually get this on a level 3 skiller with no magic. So basically, for those of you who don't know, you can obtain the dig site pendant through cleaning finds after completing the Bon Voyage quest, and you can also obtain experience lamps while doing this as well, which give you 500 XP in any skill of your choice, which really is only beneficial to use on the Slayer level as a level 3 skiller. I would not recommend doing this on any other skill, but basically, once you find a necklace that appears to be a ruby necklace, you then need to get that necklace identified by one of the archaeologists here within the museum. Once you have done that, you can make your way over to the Grand Exchange and purchase a ruby necklace as well as a enchant ruby or topaz tablet, as you can see here on the screen. That is right, this allows you to enchant any ruby jewelry without the requirement of magic. You can also mount this on your POH on the wall as long as you have the respected construction level. So that is a nice little tip for you guys. I get asked this one quite often, so I figured I would share it with you. Number 6. As you can imagine, obtaining Slayer experience on a level 3 skiller is very hard to come by, but what a lot of people don't actually know is that the best method at the moment to actually obtain Slayer experience is through the Varrock Museum in the basement. You can complete these display cases by adding 5 of the same fossil types, which are randomly acquired through skilling on Fossil Island. You can get up to 120k experience after completing all of these display cases, which can be used in any skill of your choice, which I highly recommend is Slayer. With that being said, guys, we'll be going on to the next tip, which goes hand in hand on this tip on actually how to obtain the fossils in the best way possible. Number 7. For those of you who know about Soliseb mushroom trees, this is a very dangerous method, which is why a lot of people actually think a level 3 skiller cannot actually do this method. However, it is actually doable, but I highly recommend any hardcore men from staying away from this area, as you will end up dying. Eventually, you are going to die. It's just inevitable. Even if you are a master at this, I still occasionally die, but by no means am I a master. But anyways, this is the fastest way to obtain the fossils that we talked about in the last tip for the Varrock Museum. This is one of the 2 really only good methods that a level 3 skiller has access to obtaining those fossils, this being the best method of the 2. This does give you wood cutting experience, and again, guys, it is dangerous, but I'm not going to be going over how to actually do this method, as I believe it requires its own guide, just because it would take a decent amount of time to explain to you guys how to actually do this method. So if you guys would like me to make a guide on this in the future, possibly, just leave a comment down below, and I might actually make a guide for you guys on how to do this as a level 3 skiller. Number 8. Once you have started the Recipe for Disaster quest, you can then start the Pirate Pete version of the subquest for that quest. At the beginning of the quest, you have to talk to Murphy at the fishing trawler, which can give you the diving gear, which is needed to actually dive underwater on Fossil Island, which a lot of people don't know that you have access to this either. This mainly gives you the biggest access to the giant seaweed patches down here, which are a great source of giant seaweed and some nice GP as well overall for some farming experience, and one of the best methods to actually obtain the farming pet as well. But yeah, this is just a quick little tip for you guys that you can actually get the diving gear as a level 3 skiller. Number 9. A lot of people believe the only way to obtain a Xerix talisman is by killing lizardmen, but however, you can obtain this through thieving as well as a level 3 skiller. If you make your way over to the lizardman temple, be careful, the lizardmen here can attack you and will poison you, so it's wise to bring some type of food and anti-poison. But once you make your way over here at level 60 for thieving, you can thieve from the stone chests down here, which give you a chance of receiving a Xerix talisman at a rate of 1 in 300. The Xerix talisman is really useful in traveling around Zaya, and you can also mount this in your POH as well if you have the respective construction requirements. Number 10. At level 34 farming, you have access to the Tithe Farm minigame, which has a reward of a herb sack in recent old school RuneScape updates. Before, this was never accessible to a level 3 skiller, but again, due to recent updates, now you can actually obtain this herb sack, which is very beneficial when doing farm runs or herbivore on the fossil island. So this is a very crucial item as a level 3 skiller. As you can see, it takes 250 points to actually obtain this item, which I'm not going to lie to you, does take some time here at the Tithe Farm. If you're unfamiliar on how to do this, basically you just plant the best seed that you can plant and then water it. You can go in the same motion that I'm going here. Pretty much you only need to plant 20 at a time. You can do more, however, it gets a little click intensive, and if you're not paying attention, it's very easy for your plants to die. So I only do 20 at a time. I find that very easy to maintain. So if you just follow this path here, you can easily complete this within a couple of hours. And by a couple of hours, I probably mean 10 plus hours, guys. This does take quite some time, but again, it's very beneficial, and you will receive some nice farming experience in return as well, so I highly recommend doing this. That is my video for 10 tips that I have for level 3 skillers. Hopefully this answered some questions so you guys don't have so many questions for me, and I really hope you guys found this beneficial. I really wanted to answer a lot of questions that you guys had, and hopefully I accomplished that. So if you guys found this video helpful, please guys show your love by liking the video below, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to my channel if you have not already for future content. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate all your love and support to my channel, and until next time, see you later.